All right, I'd like to start out by saying thank you to Darlene, who bought me dinner, and thank you to Asteroid Fight Club and everybody out there who is cool, because if it wasn't y'all, for y'all, there's no way I would continue to do this because of all the shit that comes with it. Anyway, we are now definitely in the danger zone. I warned months ago that the fourth of 5 Pluto Square Eris points on the 27th would kind of be a peak super intensity of a bunch of crises hitting at the same time: the coronavirus, wildfires, hurricanes, people hating each other, no one trusting anybody or any information. And so we are at the doorstep of that. And with any THORnews Eris alignment, you have a 5-day window after where you definitely watch out for storms and craziness. And so, lo and behold, we have a hurricane that is moving over Cuba and is about to get into the clear waters of the Gulf of Mexico now. And then you have another hurricane over here, which is going to move into these straits and then hit Arizona as a tropical storm with a lot of moisture. And then the wildfires are just raging like crazy. And we had 300 people die of the coronavirus in Texas today. And so there is a lot going on. And most of it's bad news, man. And then we're just under solar storm conditions. We've got 3 sunspots on the sun right now. And we had a solar tsunami and CME that erupted on the 26th. I think it's producing glancing blows now. Yeah, so there's a lot of solar energy that's floating around as well. And we just had a C-class solar flare a little while ago. So I don't have a lot of good news to report tonight, but I'm still reporting because it's very important information, as we're about 55 hours away from a major hurricane hitting Louisiana. The Saints and Cardinals game has just been canceled. And then news was put out that there won't be a mandatory evacuation in New Orleans because Cantrell says we don't have time to implement contraflow. Therefore, the city cannot pivot to a mandatory evacuation because we don't have time. So it's now going to be everybody stay in place. Although, let me say again, it is always up to you to figure out if you and your family are going to stay or if you're going to evacuate. But Laura Nash says, if you are under an evacuation order, get out. And if you aren't, and you don't know what your house can stand with wind, flooding, get out. If you're inland and you don't want to be without power for a week or more, get out. Can't tell you what to do, but if you do have the means, go. And I got to say, I agree with that. But the call is up to you, your family, your friends, and be sure to take your pets with you. Yes, as Radar Omega points out, there is a danger of very life-threatening storm surge inundation, life-threatening rain, life-threatening wind, and then super inconvenient power outages Sunday along the coasts of Louisiana and Mississippi, where a storm surge warning is in effect. Here is a look at the peak storm surge forecast for Hurricane Ida from the National Hurricane Center. And so, it looks like the east side of Louisiana will get the worst of it, and then parts of Alabama and Mississippi will get some bad spots as well. We're talking up to 15 feet of storm surge in some areas, and then some areas may get 20 inches of rain on top of that. So this is a very bad situation, as Hurricane Ida is predicted to be about a Category 4 storm hurricane on landfall. On the West Coast, it looks like Mars, as you still have tons of wildfires that are totally breaking out all up and down the West Coast of the United States and Canada. I think you've got a total of 6 megafires burning on the West Coast, with the Dixie Fire and the Caldor Fire being the worst. The Dixie Fires burned over, I think, 600,000 acres. And then you've got rounds of severe weather over north central USA and into Canada. This is an incredible tornado near Marble Rock, Iowa today. Hope everyone affected is okay, says Isaac Shlushi. So here are the severe weather areas we are watching for the evening tonight. And then here are the severe areas we are watching for tomorrow and tomorrow night, with the orange being in the middle of danger. But of course, for like the next 50 hours, the really big story is going to be the hurricane. It looks like this is where it's going to be making landfall. And of course, to the east of a tropical hurricane is going to be where the worst damage, but you're going to see a cone of damage, I think, in wind and rain around it. And so it's best to prepare for the worst and pray for the best, but right now all indications are this is definitely going to be at least a Category 3 hurricane or higher. And so it is going to bring some serious rainfall to New Orleans, storm surge as well, heavy winds, but like a large area is going to be affected with lots and lots of rain. Hurricane Ida is just about to clear over Cuba in the next few hours, and from here, and you can watch convection blowing up here, pretty high cold towers at the top, and from here to here is where we are watching for rapid intensification. And so that, these waters are super hot during late August, and that there's not a lot of wind shear, not a lot of dry air, so all the factors are in place for this to be a major hurricane. And so, like I said, if I would be making plans and preparations, and if you have the means, get out of Dodge. And, hurricane season will continue for a couple more months. And the next big major super duper, oh my God, everything is horrible date to watch will be the lead up to October 9th and then 5 days after. So just letting everybody know ahead of time, because that's what I do. Yeah, I spent months warning everybody that the shit would be hitting the fan definitely on the 27th. And so usually if I spend a couple months warning about a date, it's because I want you to play defense, stay cool, keep a sense of humor, make good decisions. And I just want to say 4 different friend or family groups in the last week or two have had reported major coronavirus outbreaks within the family or at their workplace or at the schools. And so definitely the coronavirus has been ripping through Texas, and pretty much everyone I've talked to has verified that. So we are going through the craziest times we've ever known in the modern age, in my opinion. Pretty sure you're definitely going to see some over 100 mile per hour wind speeds, anywhere from 100 to 140 wind gusts, I would imagine, and that the rain and the flash flooding is going to be pretty immense. And the rain always kills the most amount of people as opposed to wind. And so after being balled up in a fetal position for like 3 days, only taking breaks to make videos for you guys, hopefully the worst of the energy that has been hitting me is gone. And I will be here over the next few days to close out the super horrible August. August is my least favorite month, and especially pandemic Augusts are absolutely horrible, in my opinion. You're allowed to have a different opinion. That's how the world works, or at least it used to. And if somehow you get triggered by something I say, that's on you, buddy, because technically my videos are always free. Sure, yeah, I appreciate contributions and donations, but I do what I can to give out everybody good information all the time. And I'm not, I average over 1 million views a year, so I'm not worried about one person disagreeing with what I say. Yeah, people are definitely losing their minds in times like these. But yeah, here's the storm I was talking about that will go up and into Arizona. That will cause some problems later this week. Like I said, everybody should stay cool and let's try and work together through all this. And then somebody freaked out on me for saying that. So it's like, just talking these days gets people upset. But I will survive. And I want you to survive too. But yeah, the Euro has the farthest west model all this time. It has been shifting east all day and right now into Terrebonne Parish. This track would devastate the bayou and river parishes. So definitely the low-lying under sea level areas really need to be careful. And if you're well-to-do, take a poor friend with you if you're getting on a Dodge, man. If you can. Yeah, once the eye clears Cuba, it is Katie barred the door. Be ready for some rapid intensification. I would guess this hurricane could be anywhere from Cat 3 to Cat 5 upon landfall. And then later next week, Tropical Storm Nora, just over 1,000 miles away from the southwestern U.S., but meteorologists are monitoring the possibility of a tropical system may bring flash flooding to the southwest around middle of next week. And the southwest has been hit as hard this year by any monsoon season I've ever seen. So that'll just be one more thing we will have to deal with. And remember, September, October, November, and December are probably going to be super problematic as well, as we get hit with challenges after challenges after challenges. But it's still my radical belief that the coronavirus will have gone away by the middle of 2022. I would say I'm 75% sure on that. And so I'm just going to try and do what I can, stay cool mentally until then, and pray that I can see a light at the end of the tunnel, even though it's still like 7 months away. Alan Huffman showing us that just an hour ago, they showed Ida at 939 millibar landfall from the Euro, which would be a Category 4 hurricane, which is definitely dangerous and deadly. And yes, the shelter-in-place call for New Orleans seems to be questionable, but, there seems to be a trend of people rebelling against what government tells them to do. And so, like I said, if your Jedi sense is to get out of town, I would, use your own instinct. And we will pray for the people who stay behind. But I imagine traffic's going to be really bad either way, even though we're about 50 hours out from landfall. Yeah, increasingly more likely that Nora will take a rare and unusual path straight up the Gulf of California, maintaining at least tropical storm strength. Definitely should monitor the NHC forecast for possible impacts in the southwest U.S. and northwest Mexico by early next week. And I will continue to be monitoring this for you guys, because this is my full-time job, and this is what I do 24/7, is try to give you guys accurate information that might help you out in a pinch ahead of time or right ahead of time. So, yeah, we got a lot of things to monitor. Yeah, last look at Ida made it look pretty freaking dangerous, and we will continue to watch for rapid intensification. Overnight, I'll try to stay up and give you guys the late night business. The last 4 days were super duper horrible for me. Like I said, I got a lot of personal information and news that was not good in any way, shape, or form. But hopefully I'm through the worst of it, and so I can continue to give you guys comprehensive coverage. New convection exploding near the center of Hurricane Ida as the storm continues to intensify. The sky is really the limit on the storm. And, Cat 5 is not out of the question. All right, so I am your Planetary Defense Commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7 the T. We will continue to watch Hurricane Ida and all the things that are happening, and I will keep you guys updated, because that is what I do. If at any time you want to say thank you or contribute to THORnews, I'd appreciate it. Okay, great. Y'all have a great night. God bless everyone.